fuck with us. Well, we posted every Friday. See them corn emojis, then you know a nigga wildin'. Jada Gemini.
I think we should just move right into the Charlamagne thing, because I didn't have any pictures, only because I don't want to. I know we have a lot to say.
Dude, this is some deep, y'all.
Like, you get what I'm saying?
Because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I don't really want to watch.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to watch it. We just about to talk and like talk about what we watch. We'll probably tell y'all some titles of videos to go watch, but I just don't feel comfortable composing. Like, y'all need to go and watch Surviving Charlamagne on YouTube.
Yeah, if you haven't watched that, definitely go watch that, because it is literally the open
step by step
to shut consensus of what has been suppressed, who allowed it to be suppressed inadvertently, what really happened, the inconsistencies with what people are defending people with, and what really happened,
and the boys club that Kwame was talking about.
Yes.
And the boys club Kwame was talking about, and it's so interesting to me that some of the guys in that same boys club who are just so happen to be tired of Charlamagne say something, and it's like, bro,
that's why I was saying,
like you're part of the web, bro.
Until they're a direct perceived foe, you seldom hear people call out people for things, unless it's a problem. But a lot of people, dog, they just pay people off and the world goes on.
Right. But, so we're going to talk about each phase. So the first time this was even talked about publicly was not from the victim. I know there are some people out there, well, not now, but when this first broke in 2018, I remember there were some people coming out saying this girl's clout chasing because R. Kelly thing just happened. But no, she was not the one that was the first person to talk about this.
Who was?
Charlamagne was the first person to talk about it, and guess who he was talking about it with? DJ Academics.
Bro, you look so adorable. Oh my gosh. That short cam got me. Sorry about the dismal topic, but yeah, he did damage control. He had the wherewithal to see where society was going. He saw how he wanted to brand himself, right? And he's got the podcast networks with the very progressive shows, mind you. On them.
Question: who was that interview? What was that? Do you know what that interview was for? Like, what was Ak even doing back then? Like, what was that?
So back in the day when Ak was doing the War of Chirac, he was also in the same area as a DJ. He was a real deal DJ.
Yeah, he was a real DJ.
So I think he just legitimately got that opportunity because, bro, that was like squirrel face Ak.
Yeah,
that was
I saw.
like
he looked very young.
Yeah,
he looked very young.
Because by the time I found out about War and Chirac and stuff, it was like past the Chief Keef era of Chirac, for real. It was like that's when he first started popping out his babies. You feel me?
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think that was just some off the cuff. Notice the morale in the video.
More so like the chill. They were very very chill.
He felt comfortable enough to really just.
I will say, I want to point this out because I noticed this the first time I saw the video. Ak was in that shit, and when Charlamagne started talking about what happened, his version of events of what happened, Ak looked at the cameraman and he was like, bro, you getting this? Like, bro, are you rolling, bro? Like, are you getting this? Like, even in that moment, you could tell, like, he was like, whoa, bro is really, like, really talking, going here, right? But fast forward to today, bro. Look, I don't watch that man Twitch streams. Every once in a while, his highlights pop up because we post highlights. I seen him talk about the topic and I was like, oh, okay, maybe he's about to say something because he was the first person to interview him. I thought bro was gonna milk that opportunity. I would. What the? No, he's completely spooked. What?
Hey, let me just go ahead and just say this right now. I don't know if this is a highlight or not.
This
I don't
is a
really
highlight,
care.
bro.
Okay, for sure I'm gonna say this then, bro. Everybody's about to hear from his people, dog.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody that thinks that they're just because it's hella videos now, no, bro. And it's gonna be on behalf of two parties because I didn't know that iHeartRadio is Viacom CBS radio way back. So you know how we always talk about Viacom and how much of demons they are. These like Viacom on G Fuel.
Viacom
testosterone
is hosting the
and
BET Awards this year. And that's a topic tonight. They're hosting the BET Awards this year. They got into it.
Let's get some porn. I see all that. Happy birthday. Thank you, bro. Real talk. But yo, the thing that really bothered me when I saw the Ak thing before we leave the Ak situation with Charlotte, like you said, He didn't even bat it. He's brushing it under the rug. We're talking about one of the messiest, bro. Brushed it. And then remember when I did the video about the podcaster that killed the cop and was looking like a fool, and how Charlotte
and all them brushed it. And then Daniel did some research. Turns out she could have been on that freaking network.
Bro, I think she was one of the precursor, because a lot of the people that have made his podcast network home are very, very minute of a following, bro. Not discrediting their shows though, because like I know.
Yeah, there's some popping people on there. Like I be watching Jesse Wu's podcast.
Telling you, dude.
That's it.
But it was almost like the cameraman in that video was like, "Yo, do y'all want me to cut this off?" And Act was like, "No, run it." So y'all watch that later.
Go watch it in the beginning. It's not that passionate. We just like pumping it, but watch in the beginning. He literally looks at the camera like, bro, you getting this? I was really talking about how...
And he tried to make it seem like the girl wasn't underage.
He tried to make it seem like he didn't know the girl.
He tried to make it seem like he turned himself in, which was a cap.
No, okay, so lie one, he didn't know the girl. Lie two is that his cousin got arrested for it, but turns out his cousins actually were pranking him. And then he marched down, Mr. Captain Soldier, Mr. Soldier of the Law, was going to go down and break his cousin out of jail. I take responsibility for all the charges, 3, officer. Right? Do y'all even see this happening in real life? Like, be real.
No.
Like, what?
Lie 4, he made it seem like he gave DNA, but catch is, the mother never requested DNA off the daughter, so... That's like saying, okay, test this gun, but no bullets were ever recovered to reference them to. Like, what?
It's like if you go and get tested for like STDs and stuff like that, or I don't know, if you get a blood test. How about that? If you get a blood test, you'll get multiple inconclusives or like multiple negatives for things that you particularly were not really looking for. Does that make sense? That you weren't tested for? If that makes sense?
Okay, I get
That's how I viewed it when I first saw it.
Like a control group.
Exactly.
Like, you know this.
So it's like you came up negative because there was no...
thing to reference.
I was about to say substance. That's not the word for it. What is it called?
Specimen.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No problem. That was weird. And then
there's more lies though.
Yeah, then I saw that super freaking moving documentary. Yeah. I don't know wwho shot the documentary, and I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to be shady or nothing, because I genuinely saw that surviving.
We were a little too caught up.
Yeah, we were watching the surviving Charlamagne, and I was like, oh my god. I want to say it was someone named Star though. I know that they were on YouTube,
no,
like
I think that
before
they were
talking
the ones
about
that broke it initially.
Yeah, like before. But
I feel like that's how he started talking about it on the radio.
My only thing that I'm gonna say, whoever recorded that, bro, I know how videos are shot. Word of advice: if you're dealing with somebody with like PTSD, like don't do 4 fucking takes of the story. Yeah. That breaks people down. Like at most do 2 if you have to get multiple shots. But it just made me feel so much for Jessica. What isn't her name? Jessica?
Yes.
Because some people were calling her Jessie, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Listen, they definitely shot that like a music video.
But yeah, they shot it like a music video, and
takes and filler
I just felt for her, because I was like, oh my god, I wouldn't want to keep telling this story. And there was even a point where she stopped and was like, I don't want to say this again. Like, that's how I know she's not lying. I believe her. I don't care. I believe her. And I know this is a highlight, and I know some people are going to be on some, y'all need to say allegedly. No, my opinion, I believe her. Like,
bro, we're not calling this man.
That's
nothing.
what I'm saying. I'm not. Yeah, I already know. But let me know. Can I just ask y'all in the chat real quick?
True. What's up?
If any of you guys do remember when this broke in 2018, I was so upset with the mom. I was like, the mom failed this girl. Like, I was being so hard on her. We didn't have a podcast for real back then, so I wasn't really being very open about my opinions online like that. But I remember just being so upset with her. And when I saw the Surviving Charlamagne documentary and I saw the actual victim, her mom was there, and her mom shed light on what was really going on, and like it made me feel bad for just jumping to attacking her, because I get it, that was traumatic. Like, I had no clue how bad, and I didn't know there was another girl there. There's a
lot.
It's bad. Y'all need to go watch it. Like, it's bad. It's so
but
bad.
Literally, when you go look
Here, I'm
at
gonna see if I could find the video. I'm not gonna play
to
it.
what happened. What are you trying to figure out who did it? Because I was just watching it.
I just wanted to put it on the screen so they could watch it later.
Fair enough. All the rebuttals are saying, "Yo, it was 20 years ago. Oh,
15,
he was
whatever.
cleared. Excuse me. Oh,
right, whatever.
This is just to take black men down," and it just reminds me of the other the T.I. thing. That's always people's rebuttal.
Their thing.
You cannot do that though. If there's people out there saying these type of things, you at least gotta hear them out if they're in multitude and bulk. Right. Because yeah, sometimes society does try to take people down. I get that, but at the same time, they're not on here bawling their eyes out and not trying to get money. Usually when people are really showing emotions or really not trying to go get money, that should be a little bit alarming within itself, because you're not getting any clout from somebody sticking a toe inside of you. You're not getting any, like, what are we saying? And lie number 1065 that really haunted me from this is that he, on this interview, made it seem like he was young. He wasn't even old enough to buy liquor, bro.
Yeah, he was like, cops were like, how'd you get liquor? And he was like, I had one of my cousins get it for me, blah, blah, blah.
But that was his whole argument.
Right.
That was the main focal point of this fucker's argument, was a lie. And that is not allegedly. That is a fact.
I feel like, bro, this is my opinion. I feel like bro reading his fake story off this little ass phone.
Nah, seriously, like, because that's where he up, and that's where like he lost his come place. Back to bite him in the end. But a lot of people are about to get sued. Don't get me wrong, and that's why I've really been being careful with what I've been saying right now.
Right.
But at the same time, the fact that there are documents that put you within any frame of this pleading to a lesser charge.
Right.
Proof's in the pudding, bro.
This is just so sad. This is the mom. The mom says she didn't even know how old Charlamagne was, and that Charlamagne did meet her beforehand. And the mom said in this video that he came in, he introduced himself to her, and he said, look, I'm going to take your daughter out. She's going to be safe with me. And, like, that's like a repetitive thing
that people would say in that situation.
The mom and Jessica keep saying that he kept saying over and over and over, is like, you're gonna be safe, I'm gonna keep you safe, like, just very weird. But she said she had no idea he was 22. She thought at most he was like a high school senior or something, like,
oh yeah,
because she was only 15.
Yeah,
she was only 15,
bro. He's 22. It don't matter what, bro. Listen, I saw a comment though in this video, because that's why I keep going back to it, because I think that the public's opinion can sometimes be misguided, but I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's what it is. The thing that I thought was so disturbing that one of his fans said to kind of vindicate him in the public eye in the comments of this video was, this man has not done anything since, so why bring it up now? And I just thought to myself, and I looked at a sleeping Nadja, because this is like, I'm cutting my own videos, you know, just while it's rendering, looking at this stuff. And I'm like, yo, we watched a video like months ago, unironically, where it was like 30 minutes of this dude just being sus.
Right.
And then I instantly just thought of the other things that are trending right now.
Being inappropriate, seeing how the boundaries he could test. And
I'm trying to tell you, and it's very intriguing, the correlation between the public's opinion when it's too late, the quote-unquote offending parties' tendencies, and how it's just public as hell and almost egged on by the public until it's bad.
Right.
It's like it's good until it's bad. It's just weird.
I always say with my rule of thumb, like how I said with James Charles, I feel like some people don't care until they're old and it's visibly upsetting.
Yeah, that part.
Like, especially with men.
But in this case, other than his fabrication of this story,
Charlotte be lying about his age.
It was always to the point where you just said where it would have been a problem. We weren't talking about even a debatable senior freshman situation, since people want to have that talk right now. That wasn't this. That was what he tried to paint it to be almost. Well, not even. Yeah, dude, this dude here, man.
Yeah, he tried to make it seem like they were just homies. So y'all know that was the first time it was ever brought up, right? And then for whatever reason, Charlamagne felt the need to go on his bro. This is like when I was first watching this, I was like, bro, this picture is so freaking creepy, bro. And it's just him talking on that, what is it, the Brilliant Idiots podcast?
It was one of the ones in his little subsidized
like the
network,
early days.
Him being a feature on
him and Andrew
show.
show. Can I ask a question? Why is nobody asking Andrew any questions? Like, I'm not trying to say that Andrew did anything, trying to say none of that. I just want to know. It's really interesting. Nobody's like, bro, like, so you kind of like called like that. You called it for what it was when it was happening. Like, how did you feel in that moment? Like, the same thing that I wish Ack would have done, would have talked about. Like, in that moment, I was like,
bro,
like,
they visually did not care, though.
Right, laughing, a kikiing.
How they feel now. When you're literally, if I had somebody literally sitting here right now, and they said that, for one, I would have just been like, all right, y'all, that's been a good stream. What the like, rest in peace to this right here. What I did not know about that. These, yeah, and call it journalism, call it what the fuck you want. But it's different. There's a difference between if you're trying to Gayle King and cross-examine it like a fake-ass lawyer, and if you're co-signing it, just feeding into it on some black shit like, oh, spill more. And it's like, yeah, get them to snitch. But it's like, bro, why on your show? You got enough.
Yeah, and it's also like, why... It's like, why is that your trophy story? Like, why are you retelling this story? Like, do you not get, and bruh, and look, and this is how I feel about dudes that take advantage of women, period. Like, you get no, bro. You literally telling different variations of you know what. Like, and trying to gas it up like, yeah, bruh, we was just blah, 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 blah. No. Bro. And then the kicker is when I found out who bruh lawyer is, I was like,
Cosby's lawyer. The fish fly senorito. That you just said some real thing. You're saying he's trying to recount these things on a day-to-day basis, it seems. Not really, but you get what I'm saying. He's doing it more than once.
No, but it's like, damn, you retelling the same story time.
Isn't that something that like murderers and victimizers
I was
do?
gonna say that, but I didn't want to paint Braz no psycho.
No,
but
not.
that is
I'm just
true.
saying,
it's
those
like
are
a trophy.
tendencies.
Like you're treating that like a trophy. Like,
bro, we both took classes about this.
Right.
Like, bro, we get human nature at least a little bit. That is something that people do as a trophy. That is strange. But isn't it also strange that if he would have never brought this up, he wouldn't even be in this hot water?
Right. And I also want to talk about, because you're right, let's reel it back to who brought this back up recently, Kwame. If you would have just let it be, minded your own business, you the wrong one. Why would you for somebody who obviously is airing out everybody? Why would you, and then why is your idea of sticking up for something? And I like how Kwame said, bro, when have I ever been in trouble and hit you up? When have I ever been in trouble and needed you to help me out of a situation? Why would you just assume I need you to tell people, oh, don't fuck with Kwame, and then just drop on my business? Like, it's the ulterior motives for me. It's just the weird, we could talk about everybody else, but we can't talk about you.
We can't talk about people on my network. We can't talk about me. You can't talk about those dudes. And I'm even so though that they were talking about you.
That part. And I'm so tired of hearing Andrew with that, oh, bruh's my best friend type. Like, bro go on Yoshi talk about that he can't talk about on the Breakfast Club. Every time. Got you looking crazy.
And you were laughing when he brought up girl. You were laughing.
That's what I'm saying. And he was like, so,
that's hot. But bro, you didn't be like, all right, bro, get
bro's even on the Breakfast Club talking about, so is that like the first time me and my wife was together at my mom's house? I just like got on top of her. I was like, not the fact you asked your wife and she agreed that it was, and then she had to renege and be like, oh no, it wasn't like that for real. We was just playing.
Nah, seriously, this is some dismal stuff, and the legal action says it all. Really I don't think but I also didn't like
how Kwame was like, I need an interview.
Bro.
I didn't like that.
I didn't like that because like you said about them shooting the original documentary with all like those, a music video. You don't need to recant this a million times. Like we've heard it. and you've been heard. You
Right.
don't have to keep suffering about this.
And I think she would agree that she don't want to do that.
Personal agendas
Right.
and beefs. That's
Exactly.
sketchy.
Exactly, because it's mainly these dudes just beefing, using her trauma to keep bringing. And it's like, bro, look. I get it, Kwame. We were with you. Remind the people, bro, is trash. But I see you trying to be a YouTuber now, but you need to chill. Nadja and Daniel was in your live stream the other day. We saw you popping off.
Yeah,
you need to chill, pump the brakes a little bit, bro. Like, don't be like, ooh, I forgot her name and I'm not being messy. Ooh, I forgot her name. Jaguar. Don't turn into Jaguar right. Get off so YouTube, quick. Bro. It happens like this. Right. Get off YouTube, Kwame. Like,
we're
stop,
gonna do
bro.
Closing remarks and predictions real quick.
Also,
when it comes to the documentaries and all the YouTube rambles, Kwame said some real problematic in the midst of the realness, bro. And a lot of people are co-signing that, not acknowledging the problematic he's saying, bro. Because he made a lot of remarks that tie into, like, you know, everybody loves bringing up the colorism. He was like, you red bones, this and that, emasculating men off of that type of shit. All right, bro, you got your beefs, but, like, y'all, that's how we got here, is picking and choosing when certain it's all right. We got to draw the line and be like, all right, bro, you know, there's truth in the fire, bro. Mm-hmm. But, and hear me out, because it's a slippery slope. Everybody wants the real, but when they get this, it's like, it's not sustainable in this environment that these people have made. But I think they did that purposely.
Yeah, he went in on DJ Envy. I'm not gonna lie to you, I did laugh.
I laughed too, but then I sat there and thought about it. You had to think
about why it was funny to us. Yeah, like why it's funny. But
you're light skinned. You're not any less of a hard worker or like.
I know, but I'm also a woman though. Like still. I feel like maybe if my brother were to see that, maybe he would feel like, as a man, you get what I'm saying. But as a girl, I see how it makes me feel like when dudes try to make me feel like, oh, you a manly ass. Like, well, like really? Like, so I get it.
Take it a step further though. We get bothered when we think light-skinned people are coming for us as black people, typically. You know what I'm saying?
Like
I'm not talking personally, but usually people of my complexion, if a light-skinned person said anything remotely like that, they be getting their ass aired out.
No, that's true.
So let's stop, because like you said, everybody's talking about the boys club, because like you did say, Act don't want to call out Charlamagne.
I get what you're saying. I feel like people do get it confused with acknowledging colorist statements.
Yeah, when
and who reversed. Is a colorist?
Because there's no reverse colorism.
That's why I say stop using that word, because then it's just then people log
out. So
you can't say reverse. There is no reverse. It's just a colorist statement is a colorist statement. A colorist is a colorist. If you are influencing or attributing to colorism within the black community, regardless of what you're doing, it's a negative. So it does, in my opinion, it don't matter if you're over here instilling like, oh well, you know, you can go over there because she light skinned, she fast, like what the like you. That's perpetuating a bad thing. Or oh, you know, she manly because she dark. That's perpetuating bad things. So I get what you're saying. You don't like that Kwame was coming at it trying to be on some like woke, then at the same time adding
right. And I did my research, because I wasn't about to say reverse. I would never use that term again.
I know, but it's just that word.
The shoe is quite literally on the other foot now. How are we going to treat it? Mm-hmm. Because if we don't treat it the same way, when the shoe's back on the other foot, don't say.
I feel you, but I agree. I agree with y'all, and I agree with Dr. C in the chat, and like that's low key why I didn't want to talk about it on this topic, because it needs its whole topic for real.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really do it justice to just talk about it at the blip at the end of the Charlamagne. But like, I get what you're trying to say. I get what you're saying.
My prediction though, Charla is going to definitely have to resign at some point, because they are tagging people. I told you, even though he's legally freed of this, public opinion and court opinion is a mother, and this isn't going to go away. And every time people bring it up remotely, they're going to be led to the true story, which has been buried. So it's not going to work.
If I recall correctly, all it takes is for somebody to really want to pursue the cease and desist. and actually partner up with Jessica and her mother, because they cannot reopen the case to change him to be be on the offender list or nothing. Like, that's done. And it's really crazy to think that, unfortunately, if the mom would have took that step, like the guy in the video we watched said, we probably wouldn't even know what a Charlamagne is.
But
like, that's how crazy it is, and how detrimental to his career it is, and why he's getting people to shut up. But all it takes is her to team up with somebody who he's trying to do on some civil. It probably might not even do anything, but just her being on the stand probably get some closure. It would bring more eyes to the situation. Like, it's one of those things where, like, that dude went up to the school board just to confront a bully, but, like, nothing happened.
I'm going to tell you what would happen if somebody chooses to pursue it. Because, like I said, we're all going to get one.
Right.
If you pursue it, you're going to get sued if you don't stop. Because his reputation is going to get ruined no matter what.
Right.
But you're going to still have to pay that because you helped ruin his reputation of something he was legally free.
That's the thing, though, is like, if you talk about it correctly, you really can't.
No, yeah.
Kwame, he called him an R word.
That's what we're talking about.
But if you just say what it is what it is. You can't send, like, what are we about to do?
But I think that his people, once Charlotte's gone, the powers to be are going to come for his finances, because that's what they do to have money and
then,
be out
y'all,
of the way.
Am I tripping, or was this show supposed to be canceled? And I'm not talking about, like, society, oh, you're canceled. No, I mean, like, wasn't the Breakfast Club supposed to be gone, like, a year ago?
Wendy's husband messed up his thing.
Messed up his deal with this case.
Leave.
That's what I'm saying. I thought that the Breakfast Club was supposed to be done. I thought they all beefed. I thought Angela Yee knew about Bruh's past. I thought everybody... And that's why when they were like, bro, all the women that work with Brad, like, shame on you type shit. And I was just like, dude, I bet you all the women probably got a little experience, for all you know, just so quick to shame. That's why I said it's just a bunch of men using this shit for their own.
You didn't see the little Jeezy episode he had? That was his one and only HBO thing, I think. He did like a little thing with Jeezy. That was going to be his new thing, and I remember showing it to you.
Oh, just like doing the interviews?
Yeah, you were like, damn, this is where he's going, that's what's up. And then it just disappeared.
With Kanye, yeah, and he would do the sit down.
Right, and it was like mental health borderline.
Such a cap.
Gone.
Such a cap.
But bro.
Such a cap. In it with us. Happy birthday, Daniel. Daniel's birthday isn't today, but this is his birthday stream. So don't forget to wish Daniel happy birthday on Sunday, because that's his real birthday. Don't pop that. Ah!
Hey!
Babe!
We in this bitch!
The dog.
She ain't in here.
I know.
She ain't in here.
But what if she comes in?
I didn't think it was gonna blow.
Don't pop yours. Don't pop yours.
No, I wouldn't pop this.
I'm about to say, you know how long it took me to blow that up?
When you told me you actually like sat here and did this with your own, like, there's Nadja.